Hello everyone, this is your Mayor Saud Anwar. I wanted to give you an update about where we are at this time. But prior to that, I wanted to talk about where we were prior to me taking oath in 2013. We've had an increase in taxes about 2 years prior to that in the range of 21%. We had lack of infrastructure management planning where we had $25,000 in our road maintenance budget as opposed to $850,000 that are needed. We also had public works supervisors were at the level of 1967 as opposed to at this time where much more was needed. We had garage staffing which was at the 1989 level. The capital projects budget was the lowest in the state of Connecticut and lowest in the history of our town. We also had a weakness where 5 council members could go into unlimited lease agreements for our town, and that could have an impact on our financial stability. We had an old post office with no plans that the town councils had made in the past. We also had economic development challenges that 10 years prior to my taking oath, there were only 40 jobs that were created in the town of South Windsor. The previous council had depleted the town council budget of the SALT by about half of what it needed to be. We also had challenges with our ambulance service at that time, which was not ready for advanced life support, and we did not have a paramedic service. Well, at the present time where we are, we have come a long way. We are moving forward with economic development. It appears that we may have over $150 million of investments coming from various developers in our town. We have Doosan Solutions that has come from South Korea and has bought Clear Edge and is now expanding jobs. Oxford Performance Material is doing a phenomenal job in growth. It is 3D printed systems which actually are now making parts of the skull and other body parts. Connecticut Studio is moving forward under the new leadership and new owners, and we are now moving forward for the implementation of the Connecticut Studios with a fuel cell. We are now working towards a business incubation center in our town of South Windsor with an accelerator, and that would allow young entrepreneurs to have opportunities. Manchester Community College is working with us to try and get footprints into Evergreen Walk, so there are better opportunities for entrepreneurs in our community. In order to strengthen Evergreen Walk, we have been able to get an anchor store, Apple, and we are working towards more anchor stores in this area. We also are working towards apartment complexes, about 200 apartments that would actually strengthen the Evergreen Walk. There are many other anticipated investments which we are hoping that will come because of some of our policies. We were able to work and create an economic development advisory committee for the mayor of the town of South Windsor. I'm indebted to a number of people who have volunteered their time and guided me and our town to make better policies for more investments. Rating agencies are actually recognizing our town, and they have upgraded our towns by S&P and Moody's. We are also working on a fast track east with the governor, Dan Malloy, to strengthen the fast track opportunities and rapid transit towards east of the river area. We have created regional coordination amongst the various towns, and that is actually helping us be better prepared as a region to take care of economic support and growth for each of our towns. For our infrastructure, this is also something we have been able to do. I'm proud that our community has supported the $12 million bond, which would allow us to take care of the roads and make the new roads that are needed and also the drainage projects that are needed. We have been able to put more personnel into the public works team and slowly strengthen and repleting that. Park and rec personnel needed more training and more personnel were needed, and we were able to replete that component as well. The capital projects budget was increased from a $167,000 range to now, thankfully, in about a $1 million range, and it needs to be much higher. For a community our size, it should be about $7 million to $8 million range. We are proud that our community also supported the new Orchard Hill school. This elementary school would be a great asset to our community and for our entire town. Transparency was critical. We are actually now putting in a check so that town council cannot have unlimited lease agreements. We are also in the process of creating mechanisms that the capital project budget cannot be depleted by a town council without a public hearing. And road maintenance construction of the new projects, we are making sure that it is done based on needs, and we are working collaboratively with the WPCA so that the charges are going to be similar or closer to similar with the industry as well as for the residents. With respect to the community safety and security, we are very fortunate that we do have a disaster management experts in our community. We now have community emergency response teams that have been created during this time. The police department budget is fully provided. We now have a new fire truck, and the fire department resources for the personnel and the volunteers are being taken care of. Communications between the departments is strengthening with the fiber optic lines that we are investing in, and making sure that people with special needs information is available. We have now state-of-the-art ambulance service with the response rates much better than they had been before, and with advanced life support capacity with paramedic services. We've been also investing in the park and rec department. The implementation of the skate park is a great success. We've been fortunate to have the South Windsor Board of Ed work with us, with the town, that we can now move towards a high school turf field. The girls softball field is something that we are also working on with the Board of Ed as well. At the Priest Farm, we are working on a South Windsor Agriculture, Art and Nature Center so that farming can be strengthened in our town, and opportunities for community gardens and other opportunities would strengthen. While we've been able to do all of these things, thankfully we have kept our tax in check at about 1.75% increase only. Compared to in the past, in 2 years' time prior to my taking oath, the tax had gone up, or the mill rate had gone up by about 21%. Well, we could not have done this without the help and support of the town employees who work harder than ever before. We are thankful for our town manager who has served our town for about over 18 years, and of course all of our town council members, which includes our Deputy Mayor Havens, Councillor Steve Wagner, Councillor Andy Paterna, and Councillor Liz Pendleton, along with my fellow council members, which includes Councillor Tom Delnicki and Councillor Jen Schneider and Councillor Mirek. We are also thankful for Councillor Craig, who had been a great support, and we miss him. As we look into the future, it is important to know that in order to strengthen our town's future, we have to continue to work on economic development. Implementation of the various projects that we have started and we have been able to achieve need to occur. We need to continue to strengthen our bipartisanship, that we collaboratively work for the betterment of our entire community rather than a select segment of the people, and maintenance of our infrastructure, regional partnership, strengthening the public transport, investment in the education, and the quality of life of our citizens. All of these together will allow us to move into the next era where we'll continue to thrive, and we have to make sure that the taxes will always remain in check. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this. Thank you.